Good evening and welcome to our 2018 annual membership meeting. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Danielle McFadden, and it's my honor to be the president of the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. I paused just because I heard a glass clink, but I kind of like that. Thank you. We're thrilled to have you all here to celebrate the year, our Steve Jones Community Champions, and our Members of the Year. At this time, I'd like to invite Jesse Forcier, the chairman of the Dracut Board of Selectmen, to come up to welcome you to the wonderful town of Dracut, followed by GLCC chairman George Vallaris to give his welcoming remarks. I wanted to say your name like Forcier, like French and really fancy.
That's good.
So hopefully I did it justice.
I like that. Good evening. On behalf of the Dracut Board of Selectmen and the town manager, I'd like to welcome everyone to Dracut. Our town manager couldn't make it tonight, so the Dracut speech just went from the longest to the shortest. Dracut is a big supporter of the chamber. We're thankful for all your help. Excuse me. Dracut has seen historic gains in our economic development and commercial tax base. And I'd like to thank you all for your support and look forward to continuing our relationship. And it's my honor to be here tonight. And welcome. Thank you.
Come on up, George.
So good evening, everyone. I am George Vallaris, the chair of the chamber. This is my final night as chair of the board. And on behalf of the board of directors, the current and the incoming board, I welcome you to tonight's event. And thank you for coming to our celebration. The chamber's purpose is to promote and support its communities. Our business is your business, and the organization is here for you. Tonight, Danielle will highlight the efforts of the chamber over the past year, and I am sure you will see how varied and robust the list of efforts over the past year have been. Okay, the chamber is vital to the community organization, and our support in our communities is our number one focus. Tonight, we also celebrate the organizations and the individuals who enrich our community. Without their important contributions, we would not enjoy the quality community experiences we have today. We have a nice program in store for you. Before we move on, I would like to thank our sponsors: 980 WCAP, Align Credit Union, Blue Bubble Creative, Circle Health, Consider It Done Special Events, Eastern Bank, Element Care, Enterprise Bank, Trinity EMS, Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union, Leahy Health, Lifelinks, Lowell 5, Middlesex Savings Bank, Mill City Environmental, Minuteman Press of Lowell, TD Bank, UMass Lowell Inning Conference Center, and Vita Therapia. We also want to thank Lenses for hosting this event this evening.
So George has been saying for years that we should have chamber pens, so they're on the table tonight. I also got him a really big pen, but I forgot it at the office. It would have been a really great moment, so I'll have to take a picture when I award him his really big pen. I also want to acknowledge some folks in the room. We have Middlesex Community College President James Mabry here. Middlesex Community College Board of Trustees Chairman Jim Campbell. Chelmsford Town Manager Paul Cohen. From Lowell, City of Lowell's Economic Development Office, Maria Dickinson. Tingsboro Town Administrator, Matt Hansen. Whoa, look at that, Matt. All right, let's keep this going. From the Westford Economic Development Committee, we have Tom Barry and Bill Nussbaum. Lowell National Historical Park Superintendent Celeste Bernardo. Former Lowell City Councilor Corey Belanger. And Vice Chairwoman of the Dracut Board of Selectmen, Allison Hughes. Thank you all for joining us. And now for our 2018 year in review. So it's been a great year for the chamber. It's hard to believe that it's been 12 months since I was last standing here. When we planned out the year, we had several things in mind: offering our members opportunities to network in fun and exciting ways, putting on quality programs to educate our members, and partnering with organizations that help propel our members forward, all while offering the high-touch service that we pride ourselves on. We hosted events such as cookies and cocktails at the Nesmith House, Mardi Gras bingo at Mount Pleasant, and who knew that you could get 170 people to register in advance for bingo, an adult Easter egg hunt at Showcase Cinemas, hashtags and happy hour at Moonstone, so there's a little bit of theme going on over here, ice cream for lunch at Sub-Zero Ice Cream, Girls Guide to Grilling at Burton's, and net walking at various locations throughout Greater Lowell. We wanted to bring information and resources to our members and did so by offering sessions on the ballot questions and Grand Bargain legislative package with NFIB, National Federation of Independent Businesses, and RAM, Retailers Association of Massachusetts. Office hours were hosted at the Chamber with Mass Office of Business Development, Operational Services Division, City of Lowell's Economic Development Office, and the Merrimack Valley Small Business Center. And with many other organizations, including Massachusetts Chamber of Commerce executives, we hosted Small Business Day at Beacon Hill. Our Chamber EDGE, which stands for Educate, Discuss, Grow, and Engage, has met monthly at the 110 Grill, offering education and fruitful discussions on timely topics for small businesses. This member-driven group continues to grow and has built a loyal following. I want to thank Max Ward and Jeremy Medor for taking the lead on this. Really thank you, because they do everything. So if anybody else wants to start a group under the Chamber like that, give me a call. We proudly partnered with the Neshoba Valley and Middlesex West Chambers, Middlesex 3 Coalition, and Mass Hires Workforce Board. In conjunction with Middlesex Community College, we held a Run, Hide, Fight Personal Protection workshop, which we felt was extremely important to offer to our members in the community. Our young professionals, WISE, Women Inspiring Success and Empowerment, and community service groups continue to host events and make a difference in our community. We experienced a couple of staff changes, including adding Chris Brennan, our membership coordinator, to the Chamber family in December, and saying goodbye to Emma Brooks last month as she moved on to join Enterprise Bank as their community relations coordinator. I want to thank our dedicated board and, of course, the best staff a girl could ask for. We have Patty McGoughlin, our accountant, who's probably hiding somewhere in here, but she was at the check-in table. She's right there, but she's being humble. Chris Brennan, our membership coordinator. And then not with us today, we have Karen Bergeron, who's our former vice president and who has stayed on with us as an ambassador, and Nancy Crocker, our senior volunteer, who everybody knows is the real boss at the office. I also want to thank all of you. I've had so many members reach out when they heard Emma was leaving to offer their help. It truly takes a village to raise a chamber, and you raise us up each and every day. My children get to see me leave the house to go to a job that I love. My 5-year-old daughter Zoe often asks me if I'm cutting any ribbons today, or if she can have a radio show like I do. I feel so fortunate and want you all to know that. And this year is not over yet. We still have 8 events coming up before the bell rings in 2019. We hope you can join us for a holiday happy hour at the Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union Piano Bar located at the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, Homemade for the Holidays at Enterprise Bank, Soup and Shop at the Brush Art Gallery, and our Standout on Instagram seminar at Office Link. So all in all, it's been a busy, successful year, and as I'm standing here recapping it all for you, I'm already thinking of things we can do better, places we can expand, and benefits that we can add for the new year. Thank you for playing a role in our success this year. And now, back to George, minus the big pen, to introduce our incoming leadership for 2019.
Thank you, Danielle. There's a nice pen right here. I'll take in the time being. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call 2 people to the podium. I'd like to call the 2019 leadership team up to the podium. Maria Labeo from Enterprise Bank, the chairman, and Debbie Callery from the Merrimack Valley Food Bank, our new vice chair.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's event. We will now indict our 2019 Board of Directors. When I call your name, please stand up and remain standing until we're done. Executive Board consists of Maria Lobeo, Enterprise Bank, Debbie Callery, Vice Chair, Merrimack Valley Food Bank, Daniel McFadden, President, CEO, Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce, George Villaris, immediate past chair, Gendar Credit Union, Kristen Lauren, Treasurer, Enstis and Company, Roberta Barnes, Lowell Catholic, Judy Burke, Middlesex Community College, Michael Malloy, Marcotte Law Firm, Jean Osborne, Life Links, Max Ward, Avid Coach. Now the full board. Mark Armstrong, Attorney at Law. Chris Bassett, Minutemen Press of Lowell. Joanne Dennison, the Guidance Counselor for Grown-Ups. Thomas Doc Doherty, Eastern Bank. Richard DeFreitas, ABC Payroll. Ken Good, Mass Development. Stacy Lindres, Watermark. Scott McKeel, Mill City Environment. Rachel Polizzotti, I apologize if I mispronounce your name. Polizzotti, Plumbing and Heating. Carolee Ranking, TD Bank. Dot Rod Richards, Cards by Dot, powered by Send Out Cards. Cynthia Smith, Element Care. Angel Strunk, Lowell General Hospital. Virak Or, Cambodian Mutual Assistance Association. Robert Wheeler, Lowell Community Health Center. Chris Wilkinson, University of Massachusetts, Lowell. Ray Robo, Align Credit Union.
Pardon while we put on the elevator music, but look at all the bosses I have. The luckiest girl. And now Debbie's going to give an award to George for his time served as our chairman.
Thank you. When I think of George Villaris, I think about an all-around good guy. Really, George. George is involved in so many aspects of the community, chairing the Downtown Lowell Business Committee, leading initiatives such as Art Walk and Winterfest Sponsor Party, and judging the holiday window displays in Downtown Lowell. And on any given Friday, you might find George serving up a hot meal at Living Waters with his Jeanne d'Arc team members. George is always thinking about the chamber and creative ways to market the chamber and help our membership. George has served the chamber proudly in his role as chairman of the board. He has been a pleasure to work with. I think we'll keep him around for a little while longer. And so on behalf of the membership and board of directors, thank you, George, for your leadership, service as the chamber chairman. Should we move, Kelly? We'll go over here, Kelly.
We had a little snafu with our photographer tonight, so thank you to Kelly Prue from the Merrimack Valley Food Bank for filling in with your iPhone. And I heard there's an app that makes you lose 20 pounds in a picture that DSLs don't have, so download that app. So thank you all. So now on to the really fun stuff, giving out our awards to individuals, businesses, and nonprofits who make such an impact in our community. At this time, I'd like to ask Michelle Silvera from Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union to come up to say a few words about Steve Jones, a friend to many in this room, including 3 of our community champions, Tony Locascio, Bill Gillette, and Art Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Danielle. Whoop, Padua. Okay, now I've really ruined it, right?
Oh, you're good.
Good?
There we go.
Thank you. It's tough to be short, I'm not gonna lie. When someone's life impacts the lives of so many others, it should be celebrated. Steve Jones was one of those people. His genuine compassion, friendly nature, and unwavering commitment to many organizations in the Merrimack Valley will forever be missed, but his legacy lives on. Steve was the thread that linked Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union with the greater Lowell community. His passion, enthusiasm, and willingness to help everyone and anyone made him anything but common. We were honored to have him serve on the Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union team for 20 years. Steve served on various boards and committees for many organizations over the years, including this chamber. And Danielle, I know he'd be very proud of you and all the work you've done. At the end of a meeting, before parting ways, he was often known to say, "Go forth and serve." Each honoree tonight will receive a pin with Steve's motto. We hope that the pin will serve as a reminder of how much he gave back and loved his community. It is a pleasure to be here tonight on behalf of the credit union for the presentation of the 2018 Steve Jones Community Champion Awards. Thank you for the chamber, the board, and keeping the Steve's legacy alive by naming this award after him. I know he would be very proud and humbled. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to each of the recipients tonight. May you continue to go forth and serve in your communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Members of the Chamber Board of Directors will be saying a few words about our champions. I'm going to ask the board member and champion to come up for the presentation and then step to the side to take a photo with Kelly. You're going to have a side gig now. And then I was going to say we're happy to share the professional photos, but we're happy to share the photos with you all. And then at the end, there should be plenty of time for friends and family to take photos with the champions as well. And how good does it feel to be a champion? Maybe we should give capes? Something to think about for next year. So at this time, I'm going to ask Tony Locascio, our community champion for the town of Billerica, and Jean Osborne to come up to give him his award.
Good evening, everyone. I have known Tony for a long, long time, but it gives me great pleasure to be part of the Chamber's annual meeting and to have this opportunity to award longtime friend and colleague from my days working in Billerica, Tony Locascio. I was his condo neighbor for a couple of years at Merrimack Valley Insurance Agency office location. Not only do we agree on politics, we also agree that he has a long, well-known history of community service. Aside from everything he represents to the community, he also represents Billerica as a long-standing board member and executive board member of the Chamber, co-host of Chamber Chat for over a year and a half, former president of the Billerica Alliance, and is very active in the Barica Rotary Club. As I mentioned earlier, I have known Tony for 18 years and believe, just as those who have nominated him for this award, he is a good community supporter, a successful businessman, and a friend to us all. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Tony.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you, Deb. So much. Thank you.
Tony and I co-hosted the Chamber radio show for quite some time, so we got to know each other really good that way, and by him sitting on the board, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you. Next up, I'm going to ask Carrie Ray King to come up to give the award to our Chelmsford champion, Bill Gillette. I feel like I should ad-lib in between. Tell some jokes. Actually, I know Bill too, because we sat on the Big Brother, Big Sister board for many years. We had some wonderful times.
We did.
I'll leave it at that. Here you go, Carrie.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to present Bill Gillette the Steve Jones Community Champion Award for the town of Chelmsford. Bill has lived in Chelmsford his whole life, and his deep roots and commitment to the community are evident in everything that he does. Bill was also a good friend of Steve Jones. Bill chaired the committee to develop a master plan for the Vinyl Square and is now leading efforts to implement that plan. Bill has spent hours upon hours at meetings, prepared and made presentations to the community, and rallied residents to embrace this positive change. I've gotten to know Bill over the past several years through the United Way's Summer Experiences in Greater Lowell Committee, which raises funds for summer programs for youth in the area. Bill is also very active with the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Greater Lowell. In addition to his volunteer efforts, Bill has financially supported numerous projects to improve the town of Chelmsford. A few years ago, he hosted a fundraiser at his home to raise money to finance the construction of synthetic turf fields at Simonian Stadium and at McCarthy Middle School. He also donated money to support the North Town Hall and Varney Playground improvements. In his spare time, Bill is a partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers. I could go on and on, like all night, but we'll end with this. Bill's heart is as big as his resume, and he's always willing to roll up his sleeves to help. And for this reason, Bill is Chelmsford's 2018 Community Champion.
And Paul, I meant to mention, do you want to come up? I meant to say, if you're from the town and you want to come up and take a photo with your champion, we would love you to come up. Congratulations, Bill.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Bob and Gay Corey, our Drake Community Champions, and Debbie Callery is going to come up to give them that award. And if somebody from the town, if Allison and Jesse would like to come up, we would love to have you.
Are they coming? It's the whole team. Hi, how are you? You can't think of Drake at Access TV without immediately thinking of Bob and Gay Corey. For decades, they have filmed Board of Selectmen meetings, school committee, Drake It Weekly Roundtable, and the Drake It Telethon. They also bring the holidays to DATV by covering events such as the Memorial Day Parade, Christmas tree lighting, and Drake It Old Home Day. The Coreys even hosted their own television show with Jack Lyons called As Time Goes By. Bob is a veteran of the U.S. Air Force. Thank you, Bob. And gay, too. And remains active in the Drake It community, including as Vice President of DATV, member of Rules and Regulations Task Force for Budgeting, member of the Finance Committee for the Town of Drake It, and elected Drake It Water Commissioner. Kay is a receptionist and floral designer and is also very involved in the town, including working for the Dracut voting poll for 8 years. The town of Dracut is obviously really lucky to have Bob and Gay, and this is why they are receiving this award tonight. Thank you.
We got quite the Dracut group here to take a photo.
And I'm a
And
former-
Gay's face was kind of like, wow, I do all that? Like, you're forgetting some of the things that you do because you do so much.
Yeah.
I'll stand. Let me get
I know,
on.
thank goodness that we can like have a phone right on our phone. I mean, a camera right on our phone. Next up, we have Art Sutcliffe, our Lowell Community Champion, and George Valaris is going to come back up to give Art his award. Oh, you're like a ninja.
Go easy on me, George. Oh, you have no idea. No, it is my pleasure to give the Steve Jones Champion Award to Art Sutcliffe. A friend to everyone in this room, Art is dependable partner for every endeavor, year after year, effortlessly and selflessly, and always with a smile. No stranger to the chamber, Art has been a member for well over a decade and served as a board member for 2 terms. In 2011, Art was a catalyst for becoming the 6th producing partner of the Lowell Folk Festival. As chair of the Lowell Festival Foundation, Art works tirelessly every weekend during the summer at the Lowell Summer Music Series and the Lowell Folk Festival. He has been the backbone of the success of the festival for the city and for as long as we can all remember, helping with events throughout the year, including the City of Lights and Winterfest. And when he's not at the Folk Festival, he's doing work with other organizations such as the Salvation Army, helping those who need it most. For this reason, and for many others, we are honored to name Art Sutcliffe Lowell's Community Champion for 2018. Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Congratulations, Art. Next up, we have Tewksbury's Community Champion, Wamisit Lanes, and Kristen Lauren is going to come up to get that award.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Tonight I have the honor of presenting the Tewksbury Community Champion Award. Donald McLaren Sr. had a long-standing dream of opening an entertainment venue in his hometown of Tewksbury, and with a son by his side, the dream became a reality. Once an eyesore, he took a prime location and purposely used local contractors to build what is now a destination for groups and families throughout the region and beyond. 3 years ago, on November 9th, 2015, after months of anticipation, Wamisit Lanes celebrated their grand opening. A community partner through and through, Wamisit Lanes is always the first to donate to a worthy cause. Regularly, they host fundraisers, they collaborate with businesses, and always rise to the occasion. A true catalyst for economic development for the town of Tewksbury and the region, Wamisit Lanes is a visionary business that epitomizes what it's like to fully be a part of the community. Donald McLaren Sr. has said on more than one occasion, "We were built by Tewksbury for Tewksbury." For this reason, we are beyond proud to call them Chamber members and 2018's Tewksbury Community Champion.
Congratulations. Next up, we have Allison Page, Tingsborough's Community Champion, and we have Maria Labeo coming back up to give out that award. I love the cheering section. Thank you. Thank you, I know.
As a resident of Teensboro, it is my honor to give the Teensboro Community Champion Award to Allison Page, the town's Parks and Recreation Director. Allison has been a committed town employee for 14 years. In her time with the town, she has successfully ran thousands of athletic and recreation programs and put on countless community-wide events meant to foster a sense of community amongst our residents and local businesses. Most notably, every year, Allison hosts the annual Festival of Trees. Festival Trees is one of the most well-known programs in Teensboro and brings together town employees, community members, and local businesses for events centered on the holiday season. This year, Allison and her volunteer committee put together the first annual Teensboro Block Party. The block party featured local vendors, food trucks, and local community groups in our town center. There were live performances and giveaways and plenty of activities for kids. Allison spent many hours putting together this first of its kind program, which drew over 2,500 people. I was there. Allison is one-woman department and does all of this on top of her regular duties, revolving around the many sport and recreation programs that she puts on annually. Her creativity, commitment, and hard work are evident in everything that she does, and I cannot think of a more deserving recipient of this award. Let's congratulate Allison on being our 2018 Teensboro Community Champion.
Next up, we have the Rangoli Grill, our Westford Community Champion. I know that we have a crowd from Westford here. We have Tom and Bill, and also Sarah's here, so if you want to come up.
We got everybody? Hello. So I have the honor of presenting the Westford Community Champion Award to it's Gulshan and Rashmi Kumar, who are the owners of Rangoli Grill. Located in Cornerstone Plaza in Westford, Rangoli Grill has become a cornerstone of the community. Residents of Westford, Gulshan, and Rashmi built their business over 5 years ago. They designed it, developed the recipes, and drew up franchise opportunities. They immediately got actively involved in the Westford community through organizations like the Westford Business Association, Rotary, and the local chambers. Gulshan is currently on the board of the Westford Business Association, and Rashmi has served in that capacity as well. They often fundraise for local school or club organizations where they donate a percentage of sales, and they even offer discounts to Rotary and WBA members. Rashmi is also a teacher at Westford Academy in her spare time, apparently. Sounds like a full-time job to me. And it's with great pleasure that we get to name Rangoli Grill and the Kumars on with our 2018 Westford Community Champion Award. Congratulations. Get the pictures. Remember forever.
Well, while they're taking another picture, let's give a huge round of applause to our 2018 Steve Jones Community Champions. And if you're interested in donating to the Steve Jones Legacy Fund, there's information on all of the tables and envelopes as well. So simply put your donation inside and we'll collect it at the end of the evening. And there's also information on those cards about how you can donate online. The Legacy Fund is near and dear to my heart and so many of you because it keeps Steve's spirit and name alive. So thank you, everybody. I love that. Every time I pause, I get a clap. Like I was just flipping the page, but everybody's on point tonight. Thank you. And now it's my honor to introduce the wonderful nonprofit community that we're fortunate to have in Greater Lowell. When we asked for nominations for Member of the Year, every nomination was a nonprofit. After you hear about this year's recipients, you'll see why. I'd like to ask Elizabeth Cannon, Executive Director of the Lowell Association for the Blind and President of the Nonprofit Alliance of Greater Lowell for 2 more months, to come up and say a few words about the impact the nonprofits have throughout the region.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank the Greater Lowell Chamber of Commerce for asking me to speak a little bit about the nonprofit sector. I'm currently the president of the Nonprofit Alliance. The mission of the Alliance is to build collaboration that strengthens the influence and impact of community-based organizations through sharing resources and advancing excellence in administration. According to the Mass Nonprofit Network, in 2016, there was roughly 33,000 nonprofit organizations in Massachusetts, 20,000 with recurring revenues, an indication of an active organization. On a statewide level, 1 out of every 6 jobs in Massachusetts is at a nonprofit. Nonprofits provide more than 529,000 jobs in Massachusetts and is ranked 6th for nonprofit employment as a percentage of total private employment, with over 17% of our workforce employed by nonprofits. Over $30 billion in wages. The economic impact of nonprofits generate billions of tax dollars per year for state and local governments throughout Massachusetts. With over $30 billion in wages, salaries and nonprofits produce billions of dollars of income, sales, and tax revenues annually. Nonprofits generate $118 billion in annual revenues and hold assets of $334.6 billion. And Massachusetts foundations give out almost $1.5 billion annually. Massachusetts residents give almost $4.9 billion to charities each year. These numbers do not reflect the thousands of volunteer hours. According to the Corporation for National Community Service, 25.3% of Americans volunteer, which is 62.8 million volunteers. They average 32.1 volunteer hours per person per year, which comes to 7.9 billion hours of service and the equivalent of $184 billion. The nonprofit sector in Greater Lowell is comprised of over 340 nonprofit organizations working to better our community through strategic solutions to social issues. Generating over $780 million in revenue, these nonprofits have an enormous impact on the economy and the quality of life for all of us who live and work in the Greater Lowell area. Lowell is lucky to have a thriving nonprofit community that works together to bring services to the residents of Greater Lowell. From small nonprofits with no staff and limited budgets to agencies with hundreds of staff and multi-million-dollar budgets, each and every one is addressing a specific mission in the Greater Lowell area. Now that I've told you all about the economic impact and the great things that nonprofits do, I will leave you with a quote from Gandhi. The best way to serve yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Congratulations to the 4 nonprofits recognized for their service to others tonight.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to call the recipient to come up as well as a board member to present the award. We have the Greater Lowell Health Alliance, and they have a table here, so like I expect, like, woo, come on. All right, okay. Pretty good, pretty good. And Debbie Callery, who's going to be giving out that award tonight. The dynamic powerhouse of two.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. The Greater Lowell Health Alliance mission statement states that it is to sustain a strategic alliance of community organizations that improves the overall health and wellness of those living in the Greater Lowell area. And with a small yet mighty staff of two, Carrie and Amanda, do just that. With the help of volunteers, a steering committee, grant review committee, and board of directors, they get the job done. In 2017, the GLHA team, Amanda and Carrie, released the first Greater Lowell Community Health Improvement Plan, known as the CHIP. The initiative took over a year to complete, and this document used input from over 65 community agencies and over 100 community members to develop a roadmap to make an impact on the priority areas identified in the Community Health Needs Assessment. The CHIP is currently being used by many community partners to help guide their efforts, and it speaks to the need in grant proposals as well as structure funding sources. Is that right?
Sounds great.
What? Their impact in the community includes the initiative of 6 health-centered task force to the distribution of over $1 million in grants to community organizations, many that are sitting right here in this room, so many I can't list you all. The 6 health task force include substance abuse and prevention, mental health, social determinants, thank you, of health, maternal and child health, healthy eating and living, and cultural competency, all working towards long-term improvements in the health of our community. Their commitment and hard work towards making the Greater Lowell area a healthy and happy community is evident, and that is why I'm pleased to present them with this award tonight.
Nice. And next up, we have UTEC receiving the award, and Karen Ranking's going to come back up and give them their award. Congratulations, ladies.
Peace, positivity, empowerment. 3 words that epitomize UTEC, our member of the year. Founded in 1999, UTEC was the result of an organizing movement driven by young people to develop their own teen center in response to gang violence. Since they opened their doors almost 20 years ago, UTEC has been nationally recognized as a model agency with a mission and promise to ignite and nurture the ambition of proven risk youth to trade violence and poverty for social and economic success. UTEC currently serves young people from Lowell and Lawrence and is expanding to our sister city of Haverhill, too. You can't go anywhere in the state without someone mentioning UTEC, whether it be their catering services, the cool cafe, function space, mattress recycling, and now their custom cutting boards. This is an organization constantly evolving and discovering new and exciting ways to push their mission forward and help the youth in our community who need it most. There are so many reasons that UTEC is being honored as Member of the Year, so please join me in congratulating them.
If you're looking for a really cool and unique idea for either an individual or for clients, C. Morgan over there. They are doing custom cutting boards with your logo on them or anything that you want. So be the first or else, you know.
Thank you.
They will.
Pick up your mattress too.
And they'll pick up your mattress. So, I mean, they got it all over there. Next up, we have the Lowell Community Health Center and Ray Roble to be giving that award out. And I think I'm going to need to put this mic up for Ray. So let's see how high it can go. How's that? All right, let's see. Yep, it's coming.
I was just taking pictures.
Go ahead.
It's really great to have a tall microphone. You can't think of healthcare in Greater Lowell without thinking about the Lowell Community Health Center. Not so long ago, they were truly a high hidden gem in Lowell, serving 1/3 of Lowell's population. After a lofty and successful capital campaign and a move into the Lowell's Hamilton Canal Innovation District, they now serve over 50,000 people a year in a beautiful state-of-art facility. That is great, you know. And also, many of the people at the Lowell Community Health Center serve, many of the people at the Lowell Community Health Center serves are extremely low income and wouldn't have access to health care if it wasn't for the health center. In March, they opened a new dental and vision center, providing a further safety net for their patients. In addition, they partnered with local healthcare providers to improve health outcomes for their Mass Health patients. That's really a good thing, because Mass Health is a really good thing for low-income people, and it's great. The Lowell Community Health Center's economic impact in the region is estimated over $50 million in 2017. That's a lot of dollars. They employ almost 500 people in living wage jobs. That means a lot. And that does mean a lot. Most of whom live in Greater Lowell. CEO Susan West Levine is recognized as a leader in our healthcare, nonprofit, and business communities. And I noticed you were involved with the Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. My nephew graduated from there in the medical. Now he was a resident at Brigham's, and now he's got a job as an orthopedic surgeon at the Concord Hospital in New Hampshire. So you guys helped them. Thank you. Let's give it, also I want to say one thing too. There's a reframe that I use sometimes, and I think this is basically, it's going to reflect exactly what you do. You know, what you do is you're working with people to make the healthcare system work. And again, I want to thank you again.
Okay. Thank you, my friend. Actually, I should get on my knees.
Oh, just get off the podium, and then you'll be the same height.
I could get on my knees.
That's one thing we haven't made anybody do on the board.
No, it's a basketball.
There we go. Thank you so much, and congratulations to the Lowell Community Health Center. And we're very excited that Robert's a new board member for the Chamber, so it'll be great to strengthen our partnership and relationship with the Health Center. Our final member of the year, so I know that we put an S on that, but as you can see, they're all very worthy of this award. We have Mill City Grows, and I know that they have a lot of people here to cheer for them too. And we have Cynthia Smith, who's going to give out the award today. And we recently were at a ribbon cutting for their rooftop deck at the Element Care with Mill City Grows, and I kind of want to like have an office on that deck. Just putting it out there.
You just stole my speech.
Sorry. She kind of
Just kidding.
me a little bit, and I was wondering why.
Francie Slater and Lydia Sisson co-founded Mill City Grows in 2011. And have they ever come a long way? These two seasoned professionals have impressive backgrounds as business owners, gardeners, and educators, and have made their vision of bringing locally grown healthy food to our community a reality. The mission of Mill City Grows is to foster food justice by improving physical health, economic independence, and environmental sustainability in Lowell through increased access to land, locally grown food, and education. Residents have had access to gardens, farms, kitchens, and classrooms, as well as fresh food to families through their food access and education programs. Relationships have been forged, and thousands of people know more about food and gardening and cooking than they ever did before. I've had the pleasure of working with Francie and Lydia with their knowledgeable and helpful staff at Element Care with our outdoor food market, which ran all summer in our parking lot, and also the recent grand opening of our rooftop deck. If you haven't been there, come for a visit. A little plug for Element Care.
Can we stay?
And what that does is we've actually built an arbor, they've designed it, and we allow our participants to come up onto the roof deck, and they grow, tend, and harvest vegetables and herbs for part of their rehabilitation. The best description of this wonderful organization comes from their website, which I stole, and it says that Mill City Grows is rooted in the idea that when people gather to grow, cook, and share wholesome food, amazing things can happen. Well, congratulations, Mill City Grows Member of the Year, for doing an amazing job.
Every time I have them on the radio show, I feel inspired, like I'm going to start this whole garden. Like Francie came on, I was 8 months pregnant, and I put together a flower box, like a big garden planter with a brick and a mallet. It's sitting there. So I need to have her back on so that I actually put soil in it, and then the next year have her back on and I'll put seeds in it. But they do amazing work, so thank you. So congratulations to all our 2018 Members of the Year. So now I'm going to ask Maria Labeo to come back up. She's our new GLCC chairwoman to say a few closing remarks. Please stay and enjoy your dinner, and we're going to have coffee and dessert over here. But we encourage you, we're letting the program go short, but it doesn't mean that we want you to leave. So stay, enjoy, and then we're going to ask when the program's over for our community champions to come back up to the podium, and Aaron Curtis from the Little Sun's here, and he wants to have a few words with everybody. So thank you all for being here, and have a great rest of the year.
Again, congratulations to all the recipients this evening. On behalf of the Chamber, we'd like to thank you for spending the evening with us and for your support throughout the year. A special congratulations to our Steve Jones Community Champions and our Members of the Year. And thanks to our sponsors for making this event possible, including Lowell 5, Elan Credit Union, Leahy for Health, Jean Dark Credit Union, and our other generous sponsors. This concludes our program. Please feel free to stick around and network and socialize. Thank you all, and good night.
No?